Please say thanks and welcome Sheriff Joe Arpaio for his over 60 years of service. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. You want me to sit down? Okay. I'm going to sit down before I fall down. Many things are said about me, and some are true and some are not. But one thing, Tom will have to agree with me, and he's helped me in the past so many times. He's even in my book. I don't know if that's good or bad, Tom. So one thing he understands the law. They went after me in 1070, 24 years ago. They threw everything at me. I lost the election because of that. 2000, I think I had 24 years, the longest sheriff in the history of Maricopa County. Now, when you were talking about Elvis, I love Elvis Presley because I was a cop in Washington for 4 years. I walked a black beat. I survived. And then I got transferred. I joined the Bureau of the DEA. It was transferred to Vegas. My first month on the job, I arrest Elvis Presley. And I have to thank him. If it wasn't for him, I never would have married my wife of 62 years. I've been married 62 years. I always love it when they say we hate the sheriff, but we love his wife. She's been with me for all those years. And sometimes, this is a women's club, right? I'm right at home here, most women's club. So I remember last year I was invited to Milwaukee, and Cindy Love was a member, invited me to speak for the national, and maybe some of you were there. Governor from Arkansas was there. She was sponsoring. But when they saw me, they all stood up and cheered. This is in Milwaukee. I've always supported the women's clubs and women. I'm the first sheriff to hire a female chief deputy. I'm the first sheriff to hire a public relations gal from TV. And I promoted many, many females qualified. I don't believe in promoting people that are not qualified, but they came up through the ranks, they were good, so why not support them? And of course, my wife of 62 years, I still love my wife, she's up there. And when I put a press release out last week, I don't want to get too involved in religion, but my wife told me every day she read the Bible every day. And there's a quote by Jesus, "The truth will set you free." That came true last year. The truth did set me clear because the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in my favor indirectly, but said everything I did was true and legal and constitutional, that you do have a right. So you know, I didn't go public and gloat. I'm a professional guy. That comes first. I go after everybody that does something wrong, including a certain president. I won't give his name. I just know I want justice done, and it will be done. I've locked up about 250,000 illegals. Sometimes I don't go home and put the mark, oh, I'm up to this now. I don't have to do that. And someday, once I'm retired in Hawaii looking for Obama, someday I'm going to say, I locked up 250,000 that I'm accused of and did it right. And Tom knew some of that. He helped me out on a couple of those things. He doesn't get any credit for it. but he maybe doesn't want credit. That's all right. So one day the truth is going to come out. Always does. Always does. So I'm a big supporter of women. We had a regional director conference in Colorado, all the regional directors. I was a regional director in Mexico, South America, everywhere, Turkey. I was in charge of all these countries. If you don't think what's going on now, I don't know about, come on. I'm not taking credit for anything, but I sure knew what I was doing. So at the meeting, I said, I want to hire 5 female agents. And the director, the head of it, said, yes, I want to vote. How many of you want to hire female agents? I was the only one that stood up and said, yes, we need female agents. Now, I did a lot of undercover work. I didn't need a female agent to do my case. But most agents, it's easier to put a female agent undercover. I'm only thinking how to get the job done, not who they are. We hired 5 female agents. FBI copied it. Then they kept mushrooming. Now you have a lot of female agents in charge. You know that. You deal with them all the time. If they can pass the test, good luck. But I didn't stand in their way. I hear all these reasons from the male agents. Well, if you got a male agent and you're right into the same car with a female, something could happen. So I was sarcastic, as something can happen in the office too. It doesn't have to be in a car. Well, how many female agents can knock the Black Panther's door down? My answer was, how many of you guys ever knocked a door down? So I'm not well liked with some of my colleagues. Goes way back. But since I have to be truthful, I'm going to say one thing. I don't really care, really, whether you like it or you don't like it. Because I remember, I'll never forget this, in my office, NBC, National, just before McCain died, it said, is McCain your hero? And I'm glad they answered that, because 4 months prior to that, this is no lie, I woke up and I told my wife, I finally found my hero. Who is that? I said, Donald Trump. Now, I didn't say he's my hero. I said he's the only hero I ever had in my life. There's a big difference. I don't see anybody's calling him a hero anyway. I did that. I stick with him from day one. He can go to jail, or I could go to jail. I'll still give him Coca-Cola. He can give me Coca-Cola, because he is my hero, and he's the only one. Now, I did support him. I was the first one that went on the stage in 2015. Some of you may have been there. And nobody else would take the stage that anybody knew. 10,000 people there. And I looked him in the eye. I didn't know this guy. I remember he had a casino. And I said 3 things. We're born on the same day, which is very interesting. And I said, you're a businessman. And I said, you're going to be our next president. Well, I campaigned for this guy big time for 2 years. And I've endorsed many presidents. Not that I endorse them, I travel with them. Bush, I can go right down the list. As an honorary chairman for this state, I endorse. Trump is the only one. Never asked me what to say. I had to wing it, just say what I thought was true. Where all the other guys, when I fly with them, make sure you say this. One thing we lack today in the Republican Party too, the loyalty, okay, but where is the character? You judge people by their character, not their own ambitions or everything.
Joe, would you answer the one question I had when you had that Fox News program? How did you get the
Which program?
Fox program? How did you get those who were wanted to voluntarily come in?
Oh, yeah, well, I'll do it briefly, very briefly. These programs I had on a phony thing like running a beauty shop, anybody that wants a free haircut, come and see me. And we tracked it, and they all had warrants for them. So they were so stupid, they would come to me. I did a lot of it.
Did you also invite them to come to a Suns game? And did you apprehend some there too?
Oh, yeah. So wait a minute. Before we close this, I got to give you the big one. I'm an equal opportunity incarcerator. No one in this world has ever hooked women together on the chain gang. And I have them burying the dead. At least somebody would show up and pray for them. So I treat women okay. And in closing, I love the tent city. And when they get blasted, I say one thing. Our veterans were fighting for our country. I think they can put up a little time under some Korean War tents. That's not being smart. That's just common sense. Common sense. But in closing, I want to thank you for this honor. You made my day. I think it was love that invited me to your national. And it's an honor to be supported by all of you. And I'll always be there for you. I'm still around. I'm going to be around a long time. I'm not going away. We have to take care of our women. They work hard. They fight for their country, and you have to take care of them. So thank you very much. That's it.
I want to talk about this gentleman right here. He's done so much for the people, for us, we the American people. He's kept us safe. I don't think there's another individual in the world that knows law enforcement as well as this man right here. Yep. I talked to a fella the other day. He said, you know, it's Joe Arpaio that turned my life around. He said, I was in Tent City. I think you just heard the story right here a little while ago. And that gentleman that I talked to is a pastor today in El Mirage. Then there's another person, a young kid. He took that kid under his wing. He taught him what America stands for. He taught him patriotism. He showed him understanding. He showed him honesty. He didn't have to do this, but he did. Nobody forced him. He cared. But then again, his whole life has been dedicated to caring for the people of this country. Well, that kid is here today. He's standing right here. It's me. Thank you, Joe. I don't know, man. I never would have made it without you. Thank you.
Well,
You've done a lot.
let me.
Sir.
Yes, okay, Captain. I got to make him a colonel. So the only thing I'm going to say on this, and I'm not trying to be humble, I don't have all these degrees, law degrees especially. I have two things that keep me going. Common sense, and I work hard. Everything that you talk about, I earned it. I didn't go around with the bosses drinking coffee, or I went out working. So I'm proud to say what I did, I believed in it and I stand by it.
It is a privilege for me to be here. And people say, well, why are you here? There's a lot of good reasons, but I'm here for one Joe Arpaio, because, you know, a lot of us know what Joe has done. And I've known him long enough that, you know, you kind of get an understanding of why he has done it. And you don't know him very long before you realize the why of it all. Sometimes we always ask the what, but the why of it is not just all of the, you know, the wonderful things that people can say that how historical he's been as a person. But you know, the Bible says that greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. And this man has been a protector his whole life and has been committed to protecting the innocent. And sometimes that meant being a little bit hard on the bad guys. He was a tough sheriff, not because he hated his prisoners, it's because he loved the people. He wanted to make sure that he protected the innocent, and he loved America. And this man has had an astonishing impact on the world. And I'll tell you, Joe, only eternity will discover your impact, brother. And Ava is waiting on the balcony for you. And she's very proud of you right now. And that's a fact.
you.
And I just would say to you, you know, that people like Joe, they're always going to go through some difficult times. Winston Churchill's name, I think, was mentioned a little earlier. And there's always setbacks and difficulties and hills to climb. But remember, when Winston Churchill was used of God to save the whole world in World War II, the voters threw him out of office the next time he ran. And so there's always setbacks. And the press, God bless the press, they came running up to him and they said, Mr. Churchill, what do you think now? Now what do you think? You know, after he'd been defeated, they knew he'd lost the election. And he said this, and I'll try to get it exactly right. But he said, well, you know, my friends, the only real guide a man has in this life is his conscience. The only shield to his memory is the rectitude and sincerity of his own actions. And it is very imprudent to walk through this life without that shield. Because we are all so often mocked by the failure of our hopes and the upsetting of our calculations. But with this shield of knowing we did the best we could, no matter how the fates may play, we march always in the ranks of honor. And Joe Arpaio, you will march always in the ranks of honor.
Thank you.
I really came to honor Joe. I was a very strong supporter of Joe from the very beginning because of the feeling I've always had that there are too many people in our society who sympathize with criminals rather than with their victims. And that's not a problem with Joe. Joe can tell the difference between the good guys and the bad guys. And he protects all of us, and his mind is on the people who are the victims of predators, not on the predators. And so it's been my honor to always been a supporter of Joe. And when I was Attorney General, it was a big honor and a pleasure to work with you, Joe. You've kept us safe, and you've done a tremendous amount for the people of Arizona. Joe and I appeared together on a national TV show. I don't know if you remember that. And Joe said, as he always does, I'm the toughest sheriff in the world. And so I said, well, I follow in Joe's footsteps. I'm the toughest superintendent of schools in the world. And I feel loyal to you, Joe. And I want to thank you for all you've done to protect us and to have the right values of distinguishing between the predators and the victims of the predators. Joe, thank you so much.
Anyway, listen, thank you. Thank you. This really makes my day. Thank you.